So for the interview, do you want to be called Damon or Spencer, by the way? I'm never sure like what you'd prefer for the interview.
Well, I'm Spencer when I have clothes on. So Damon when I'm naked. Okay. I mean, we could do half and
we
half.
We could ask that on the
like,
podcast.
I could do the second half naked and then we call me
And then we
So the first half would be like asking Spencer questions and like, all right, we want to talk to Damon. We want to get the...
He's like, okay.
All right, get naked.
Damon's coming out.
Chemical X.
Okay. You ready?
Okay, everybody got that? The cameras are on for that?
All good?
Perfect.
You can use the clips, it's fine.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Chemical X podcast. It's your girl, Veronica.
And your other girl, Alessia.
And as usual, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below, and leave us 5 stars on every audio platform. So now today we have
A shit guest.
our worst guest. Our guest that has been supposed to come on for a long time. It's been about a year and a half that we've been talking about having you on the podcast because we met through Balesa, which is my daytime job. So now we're colliding industries and having you on the Chemical X podcast. So hello, Damon / Spencer.
Hello. How's it going?
Good. How are you? So do you want to introduce yourself very quickly?
So my name is Spencer Barrick, aka Damon Dice, and as she said, we are co-workers with Balesa, and I am here in Canada. So I
Happy
made
to
it.
have you.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about what you do for a living?
Well,
You do many things.
why I'm here is I'm actually here in town shooting for Brazzers, and we did a little snowboarding shoot. Me, Mick Blue, and Angel Youngs, and Mick, if you guys don't know, he's won Performer of the Year many times over the past few years for AVN. Angel Youngs was the best new starlet. So had a beautiful cast and crew. We did a little snowboarding trip and made a little movie too.
Made a little
I love how they say
We made a movie.
Okay, Austin Powers.
Have you ever won Best Performer?
No.
What the hell? Are you like offended about that?
No, because for me personally,
Personally, you know in your heart that you're the best performer.
I've won several awards, but I've never been like fully committed to like being the porn star.
Okay, wait, what
Right.
awards have you won?
I've won many best sex scenes,
Okay.
best threesomes. I've been a couple of best VR scenes. I probably have like 10 awards over 8 years.
Okay.
Yeah, so I haven't won Performer of the Year, but it's like people that are like being porn star full time.
Yeah.
Win Performer of the Year.
Right.
So
And you're doing some other stuff.
I
on
do a
the
bunch
side.
of other stuff too. So it's
Which
but
is-
people know the quality work that I put out. Like I'm one of the top tier guys, but
Yeah.
I'm not about. It's like kind of winning like a Grammy or the Academy Awards. You know, you got to kiss some ass, and I'm not an ass kisser.
Okay, so you're a porn star. What else do you do?
I work in the cannabis industry. There's this company called Hardin in Las Vegas that I work with, and it's the number one cannabis
Wait.
dispensary.
You pronounce it Hardin?
Hardin. The J is silent.
How did you get involved in porn? Like, what was your first time?
First time. Well,
Who recruited you?
Does this count like home tapes?
Well, then we're all porn stars.
Yeah, right now. As I was saying, like I've been knowing this for a while, but no. I graduated from college in 2011. I went to East Carolina University, home of the Pirates.
I have to say, go Pirates.
Shout out ECU. So went to ECU and I got a degree in hospitality management, and I created an app in the hospitality realm. It was called iBar. So my app, it was I live stream video from bars, clubs, restaurants, music festivals, charity events. So basically, say we're sitting here tonight and we're pre-gaming. We're like, oh, where should we go tonight? So we click on Montreal. They have a drop-down list of all the bars and clubs, and you can literally like click on this bar, and you have a live stream of that bar. You could swipe on your phone.
That's fucking
You
sick.
could literally bar hop from your phone.
All I can think is that if my boyfriend would go out,
So,
I'd be going,
yeah, exactly.
I would be zooming in to see
I thought of that. So the way the cameras were set up was
It's not actually live. It's just...
it was a bird's eye view.
Okay.
And it was on a 15-minute delay.
Okay.
And the quality was like, it wasn't like 1080, it wasn't like
Yeah, it was
4K.
just so you see like
You
how
can
many
see the
people are
vibe,
in.
so you can see the vibes. You couldn't make out and see an individual person. You couldn't spy on your boyfriend.
You don't know
Yeah,
girls.
I thought of that. I was like,
I'd be like, that must be the exact check.
No, literally. We don't need a face. We
Brown
just
hair. That's
oh
it.
yeah, because
Yay, hi.
girls are crazy.
we know that girls be lurking. So kept that in mind.
Sometimes there's a guy talking to you and you just don't know how to give him, the right idea, which is that you want him to fuck off.
I hear you.
Sometimes you got to get creative. And for me, I'm a people pleaser. I don't like to reject people. But sometimes I have to think outside the box. And the best way to reject someone is just to get yourself a nice ring that says fuck off on it so that he could read the message on his own. You know what I mean? Like, why do I have to do the work? Just read my ring. I'm just going to be like, read my ring.
That is the best investment that I've ever heard of.
100%.
I want 7 of them because I don't even know if one is enough with men.
You need one on every finger.
I need one for every man.
And guess what? Every Jules also makes socks that says fuck off. So if he's not listening to you with your rings, you just say, look at my socks for a
No,
second
if he's
opinion.
not listening with your wrists, then he better be listening with your feet.
So guys, you know where to find the hidden messages that you want to give the people around you. And it's at Every Jewels because they have personalized jewelry. They have super cute rings, accessories, tote bags, socks, anything that you're looking for. And it's super affordable. So you can use our discount code.
Chemical X at checkout to receive 20% off anything on their website.
But yeah, so the cameras were like
Delayed.
just the angle of it and delayed and the quality of it. You could see the vibe of the bar. It didn't stream 24 hours. It was mostly when they were like popping. So this was in 2012. This was probably iPhone 2. So this was like in the very beginning stages of iPhones and apps. It was one of the first streaming apps on the market. I won a bunch of awards through my university, the city, the state. So they were giving me grant money to create this app because it was a hospitality way. They could bring people and like advertise their local bars, restaurants. I did like big city events.
Right.
So I was like literally live streaming things in 2012.
Right.
Way before I got into live streaming things.
Yeah.
in this decade.
So you're like ahead of the game, basically.
I was ahead of the game. And
then you're like, what if I stand in front of the cameras? With my
so here,
TikToks?
yeah. So I was working.
But the quality is going to be a little bit better.
Oh, the quality's way better. So I had a familiarity with cameras and live streaming systems. And at that time, app development was very expensive. I was paying app developers around $100 an hour. And this is at the time, like, there weren't many people developing apps. So it was very specialized. Mm-hmm. Now you can find someone overseas do it for like $20 an hour. So the grant money from the university was going fast. And I was trying to keep my company alive. And one of my promo girls, I was like, hey, like, let's webcam together to help fund my startup. So we started webcamming together to keep the company afloat.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was
businessman.
it was out of necessity, and I was fortunate enough to understand streaming and camera. So it was like, all right, let's do this. And I've always been an exhibitionist. Like, I enjoyed when people watch me have sex. So I was like, I'm cool with that. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I think I could do this. So we were doing that. And then fast forward a year, this girl started shooting amateur porn, and then she started shooting professional porn. And in 2014, she became the best new starlet in all of porn. Mm. So, like, my friend and my coworker with the startup was now like the biggest new porn star in the world. So that was my introduction. I was like, just kind of got thrown into it.
Right.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, like, how did we get here? I told myself, I was like, I can never do porn. No, like, I was super against it.
Why? What was like your initial like reservations?
Because I was so entrenched in business and entrepreneurship, and I also was at that time living in the South, North Carolina, which is very like the Bible Belt, super religious, porn bad.
Yeah.
So I was worried about what my peers would think about it. So I was like, shit. Like, I knew the money was good.
Did you feel like people weren't taking you as serious because you were a porn star?
In my head, yeah, of course, because you're like, I'm in my 20s, like, so I think I started porn at 25, so I was pretty established in college. I did really well in college as an athlete and through my degrees and starting business out of college. So it was like on a different track in which people really expected.
Right.
So like when I started doing porn, I was closeted with it for like a year. because
Really? But how do you be?
I was ashamed about it. Like I wasn't proud about it because it was so far different stigmatized, and it was so far different from my path, which I created for myself. And like, because business was my life. Like I started this company, it did really successful, and then, that didn't work out. So it's like, how do people see, like I saw as a failure that my business failed ultimately, and then I'm doing porn. So I wasn't happy about it at first.
And how did you like end up getting over that and like accepting it and being proud of it?
Once like the bigger scenes started coming out, and like I was working with these porn stars, and finally it was like I made it. Like that's when it was like, all right, like I can just own up to it. The biggest like roadblock for me was like with my parents. So I told my dad right away. Like Dad's like, all right, Dad, I'm doing porn. He's like, oh. He's like, well, no, he was confused. He's like, son, you're smart. He's like, why would you do that? And this was like almost a decade ago. So it's, he didn't understand. Like I graduated college and I had started a business. It's like, how the fuck do you go from there to doing porn? He was just confused.
And how did you tell your mom?
You're
like, I waited on that one.
You're like, actually, she
still doesn't found out when she was on.
So Mom, if you're listening, no, I was kidding. Mom's my best friend. So I'm a mama's boy, and I didn't want to tell my mom about it. I was like, fuck, how am I going to tell my mom? And
that's sounding like you waited years.
Yeah.
It was 1 year.
Okay.
And it was just like, because I never, like the first year, I didn't really know if it was a full-time thing. Like I was like,
right. You're just like, let's see.
I'm just shooting. Go. I'm like literally, I'm doing a shoot. The money I'm making from my shoot's going straight to my developers or my server fees. Like it's not a career of mine at all. It's
right.
Like,
you're just thinking you're going to transfer.
I'm just using my dick to make money to fund my company.
Right.
Like it's not.
Right.
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 I love that. Right.
As one would do.
Pretty standard, huh?
Yeah. We all use different assets to make a living.
Told Mom finally. It took me a year. And it was on my birthday. I decided to tell her.
I mean, that's fucking smart.
You're like, Mom, you gave birth to me on this year, and this is also the year that I let you know.
Yeah, and also, like, if you're actually going to be mad at me on my birthday, like, I get what you did there.
Exactly. So I was like, Mom cannot be mad at me or upset with me on my birthday. I can tell her today. Today's the day.
Safe day.
And I was actually on a porn set when I talked to her and told her. I was shooting in Phoenix, Arizona for New Biles. And on my birthday, my mom calls me and sings happy birthday. So she was calling me singing happy birthday. She sings happy. I was like,
thanks, Mom. I'm also a porn star. Bye.
She sings happy birthday. And I'm just quiet. Moms always know. They're like, what's wrong?
Right. Yeah. They know. They just have that intuition for sure.
What's wrong? Mom's like, baby, what's wrong? I was like, Mom. I was like, I have something to tell you. Silence. She's like, well, I know you're not gay. Because like usually like a guy kids like, hey Mom, something to tell you, like at that age
it could only be a couple of things.
You're coming out of the closet,
right?
She's like, I know you're not gay. I'm like, that's not it. She's like, all right. She's like, did you get a girl pregnant? I'm like, no, Mom, I'm not gay. I didn't get a girl pregnant. She's like, what is it? I'm like, Mom, I'm a porn star. She's like, quiet. She's like, are you going to be famous? I'm like, what? I don't know. Maybe.
I hope.
This is like a year and I'm like, I hope not. So yeah, I kept porn like on the low because I was still doing business and I just felt like porn was below me at that time. So I got there, I finally crossed the bridge, and after I was able to be in the industry for a while and like normalize and kind of adjust to it, like I accepted the fact of what I did.
Yeah.
Right.
And owned up to it. But in the time that I've been in the adult industry, I've always been business minded, which I feel like has separated me from the pack of other performers or has made me unique and stand out in the industry.
Right.
So it's like porn's always been there, but I've always been an entrepreneur and a business person in the porn industry. So that's what I've seen with where I've been so far. It's like a lot of my peers, like the male porn stars, like porn is their life. Like they're great at what they do, but breakfast, lunch, and dinner, day by day, like that's their schedule. Right. That's what they do.
And I feel like now that you're obviously more successful at this point in the adult industry, that you kind of have the ability to be pickier and like choose the things that you want to do and then like prioritize.
Thank God.
Because
Not every shoot's been blessed to shoot.
right, because I'm sure there was a time where you had to shoot things that maybe you didn't want to shoot, and like you said at the time, it was like on the lows for the money. Like you only started accepting it when you were shooting with bigger stars. So like, what was it like being, I guess?
What was
I
the
think
like
What
the
was
worst
it? What was
shoot?
it come up
It's
like?
always
Oh
easy
God.
to be like, yeah, I'm a porn star. I'm Riley Reid. I'm like the most famous. You know what I mean? Like I feel like
I had
it's
to-
easier to
So
swallow
yeah,
that pill.
yes. So being a male porn star, when I came in 2013, 2014, 2014, was way different than it is now. Because now, like, you can be a guy, you have access to OnlyFans, like you could pop up real quick.
Right.
But
Back then.
back then, back yonder, back in my day, back in my
Not
day,
to age you, but back then,
back then.
back when computers first started.
And when we're still using CDs and DVDs, Blu-ray if you're rich.
When porn was on VHS. Back
No,
then.
no. I'm not that old. Come on. Like, we had to rely on the big companies.
Right.
And with the big companies, they have their big star performers. So you have to put in the time, the work, the years. You know, you have to build that reputation to be a big star performer,
Right.
like a male porn star especially. Girls can come in hot, like being a hot girl, young, big tits. Like they can come in like within a week and be big porn stars.
Right.
They got that look.
Interesting.
They'll get
That makes
shot by all the
sense.
companies. But guys, we don't have the same liberties. We got to come in. If you're not a proven male porn star, a production
You have to
company,
like almost prove yourself
a
more.
production costs a lot of money to do. So say you're a producer on a porn set, and you know you're paying money for the location, for the talent, for the crew, the makeup artist. You're dropping hella dough
Right.
to do a production. So if the male performer, he doesn't come in and do the job or finish a job, you're losing a lot of money
Right.
as a producer
Right.
or as a company. So why take a risk on someone that you don't know who the fuck he is and risk the whole production when there's a bunch of guys you can choose from?
Yeah.
Do you
I guess
feel
it
like-
would be like the same thing for like acting and stuff.
Same thing, yeah.
Right.
So it's like being a male performer, like it took me, I'd say for me personally, to really feel like I made it was probably like three and a half years to really make it.
Okay.
First year I quit twice. I remember going to my agent and I was like, fuck this, like I quit. Like I was only maybe shooting once a month. And the shoots I was doing were like, you know what a blow bang is?
No.
Is that
Blow
like
bang,
is that like a gangbang
blow bang, blow
where
bang,
they're like
blow
just
bang.
sucking a bunch of dicks? Like, isn't it like a
Oh,
one girl?
yeah, it's like all everywhere.
It's like,
Should we give you our mics?
Yeah, give me the,
It's basically like 10 guys with one girl giving a bunch of blowjobs.
so it's like one girl in the middle and a bunch of dudes standing around her. She's going basically in a circle,
Right.
merry-go-round sucking dicks. Okay. So you're standing around a bunch of dudes. It's just
Not great.
yeah, it's not ideal.
You're like, that's
Not
not the
ideal.
ideal
This
scene I
isn't this
wanted.
isn't what I came into this industry to
Like,
do.
this is what I
I was
imagined
like, hold
when I
on,
said
like,
porn star.
I was like, what is this? Where is Riley Reid at right now? Where's
When does
Alexis,
the
Texas?
one-on-ones
Come on.
happen?
So being a new adult performer in the game, you don't get the porn star starting out.
Yeah.
Like you start in the blow bangs. I remember one of the first scenes I ever did was a 15-guy blow bang with Adriana Chechik. Love her, great. But yeah, that was like, I was like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm just standing there, and there's like all these other naked people around me.
You're just like,
You're like, we're all in this together.
you're like, I don't know if this
What's up,
is
bro?
for
How you
me.
doing?
Yeah.
What's up, bro? Like, it's just like that situation is just funny looking back. It's like getting paid like $300.
Really?
Yeah.
For those scenes?
Yeah, nothing.
What do you do? You think that there's more pressure to be a male porn star or female porn star?
I would feel like it'd be male. No?
I'm gonna answer this politically correct.
Okay, what how about the unpolitical?
Because girls can fake it. Like men need to get apart.
No,
you
it,
know?
there's
There's more pressure.
All right, so what you like? There's different dynamics when it comes down to male porn stars and female porn stars, socially, and just in life in general. I feel like for females it's tougher because
makes
there's the stigma of being a female adult star and getting the stigma of being a slut or a whore or there's so many things socially that become attached to it.
Right.
But on the same coin, if it's like me as a guy, it's like, oh, I'm a pimp. Like, oh, you get to fuck all those girls.
It's like sick.
Yeah,
It's
it's like a status. Like I
Yeah.
raise up in that level.
Right.
But a female, it's like you get downgraded.
Yeah.
So in that aspect, it's harder for females to break in because it's a bigger jump. Even I'd say just kind of maintaining status as a porn star. Women have so many more nuances when it comes to maintenance and just being presentable. I can just roll up on a porn set as is. Like I can show up hungover, ready to go. I get my dick hard. I'm on.
Right.
The girl has to show up early. She has to do hair. She has to do makeup. There's the vagina. There's a lot of things that go along with that. You can have your period. It's just
Right.
It's a vagina, so there's a lot going on. So there's a lot more variables. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, no, it's serious. Like,
Facts.
there's a lot more maintenance, and you have to do your hair, your nails, manicure, pedicure, wardrobe. Most time I'm showing up in like either like boxers, t-shirt, jeans. Girls need a whole wardrobe. You're doing pictures, you're doing video. So, and even the majority of the audience for adult films are watching it for the females.
Right.
So the attention's on the females for the most part.
For sure.
So in that dynamic, everything leading up to actual sex, like it's tougher for the females.
For sure.
Yeah. When it actually comes down to the nitty gritty and we're having sex, that's where to be a strong male performer, it's very important because if your dick's not hard, if you don't have a hard dick on set, the scene's not happening.
Do you take anything for your dick to get hard?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, it depends on the scene. For me, honestly, it's like if I have chemistry with my partner, I don't need anything.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. If I don't, or if it's someone that's new, I've never shot with, I'll take a little bit. It also depends on if it's a feature movie where it's like stop and go and we're going all day. Like,
Right.
I need a little assistance.
Right.
Yeah. That makes
So
sense.
yeah.
And do you feel like that pressure? Like I feel like it's hard with getting hard. That it's like it's just
Hard
like
with getting hard.
it's like if you're not getting hard, there's not that much necessarily you could do about it. And I feel like there's like a lot of pressure there. Like if I would be a male porn star, I'd probably be like, fuck, like it's so anxiety inducing
It
to
is.
to
Yeah.
have to like force your body to do
It
something
is.
in a way.
It is and can be very difficult because.
Has there ever been like a time where you're just like, it's
Of course, yeah. I've been in the industry for 8 years now. I've shot over 1,000 professional scenes. So not, I'd say 1 out of 100 doesn't go as planned.
okay?
Whether I'm just having a bad day, I'm tired, maybe I've been traveling, maybe I have an injury from sports, or the girl's not having a good day, she's giving me an attitude, or there's so many factors. So it's
Right.
like, you can't be perfect.
Yeah.
So
1 out of
I've
100
had my
is
scenes where
Yeah, 1 out of 100.
I've had my scenes where I failed. Like I remember one. It's like when I was probably like 3 years in the industry, and this was like where I was at like peak shooting. Like I was shooting probably 20-ish scenes a month, and I remember I was on day 25 in a row. Like I shot 23 out of 25 days, and I was going from like Miami to LA to Vegas to Phoenix to LA to Miami to like I was in 6 cities and
Right.
just going all over, and just finished a trip in Miami for a week. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go back to LA and relax, chill. I got a call from Vegas like, we need you to come in for a shoot. Like a guy canceled. Like we really need you. I'm like, I'm not coming. I'm done. They're like, we'll pay you double. I'm like, all right, fuck it, I'm coming.
He's like, I'm coming, but I didn't.
I'm coming, but I did. So flying to Vegas for the shoot, and it was like I don't remember. It was like some seasonal theme, like maybe like 4th of July or something. And it was like with 2 incredible MILFs, like hot, like they're great, like love them. And
You're like, it's not you. It's me.
those words came out of my mouth.
I'm
Out of my
sure.
mouth, yeah, for sure. So show up set, we're doing the stills. I already knew coming out. Once I was on set, I'm not feeling good right now.
You're like, this is not how you should feel.
Yeah, no, I was like,
Just
hello, wake up. Wait, he's
You're like,
dead.
buddy,
It was just,
time to go to work.
yeah.
You're like, Damon, come
clocked-
on.
Damon clocked out. He was on vacation. He stayed in Miami when I was in Vegas.
The baggage didn't make it on the flight.
Yeah, the package did not make the flight. No.
But what happens in that situation? Is the scene canceled?
Scene's canceled. Yeah, scene's canceled. Everyone's so that's what I'm saying. We were saying earlier on a production, if you don't have a guy that's, able to perform, you lose out on money. So that day, that production lost X amount of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
So it happens.
Yeah.
So
That's crazy.
when you're having talent, especially the male, there's so much more pressure on us because if we don't perform, everyone's fucked. No one gets paid.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm feeding mouths, like I'm supporting people. So I look at my job as I'm there to make sure everyone gets paid and feeds their families because a lot of the crews, they're there to support their families.
Mm-hmm.
So, I've got a lot of mouths to feed, literally and figuratively. Literally and figuratively. And something that actually, speaking on that topic, which is kind of cool, was during the pandemic, I was doing cam shows to help feed some of these, to help raise money to support some of the crews and people that were out of work.
Right.
Because a lot of these crews that I've been working with for years were all of a sudden out of work.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have money coming in. So me and some other performers, we would do cam shows on some of these campsites to raise money for these crews.
Which is really nice.
We still, people were talking shit, oh, you're endangering people, blah, blah. Why are you doing this? I'm like, me and the other my co-performers are tested. Mm-hmm. I know, professionally, the studios are shutting down, but, I'm not going to end what I need to do to help support my people.
Right.
Right.
So, I felt obligated because I could do it to do so, even if I caught shit for it. Mm-hmm. Or people were like, oh, you're endangering people. I was like, no, fuck you. I'm standing up for what I believe is right.
Yeah.
You
can
can't
never please everyone.
No. So
Everyone at some point is going to be mad about what you're doing. But speaking about camming and stuff like that, do you feel like with the rise of OnlyFans and, I feel like now we have a lot more adult stars than we used to because of OnlyFans. Do you feel like, being an adult performer has changed or the stigma around it has changed or gotten better? Do you feel like there's any sort of change in the industry with that?
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because now it's we all know someone, obviously you, but I'm saying in norm society, I feel like everyone knows someone who does OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Whereas before it was rarer to know someone who was a porn star.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
when you have that relatability, it just seems like so many more people are in the adult industry or the sex industry.
So the pandemic, with a lot of people being out of work, it really opened up the OnlyFans and people going to sex work to help support themselves.
Right.
Through the pandemic, there was millions of jobs that were created because people lost their jobs. They couldn't go to work. So if you can work from home,
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing better.
Right.
You can work your own time, your own schedule. You're not going out risking your health.
Mm-hmm.
So the pandemic completely changed the game. People came in, started doing OnlyFans. How that relates to the porn industry and how that kind of intermingled was it brought so many more people into the talent pool. So there was people that were coming in, making it big on OnlyFans. Within a month, they're blowing up. And the same, on the same coins, there's
Right.
porn stars, girls that put in years that didn't get as big as that fast.
Right.
So it kind of put the advent of the adult industry into hyperdrive.
Right.
Porn and access to adult content literally went through the roof through the pandemic because so many people were doing OnlyFans. It became more mainstream. Cardi B was rapping about OnlyFans. Mm-hmm. All these celebrities started doing OnlyFans. So it really just blew the roof on it. And the adult industry in the past 2 years has really become more socially accepted.
Socially, yeah.
Right.
Even
That's what I
myself,
was saying.
I feel more freely talking about it now.
Mm-hmm.
Pre-pandemic, it was still kind of taboo. I did it. People that knew. But even publicly on my Instagram, I'm not a porn star. I'm Spencer.
Right.
Yeah.
I do my business stuff, my personal stuff, family, whatever. So Damon Dice was always kind of put in the corner. Kept him on Twitter. Kept him on OnlyFans.
I know at the beginning you were saying you were making about 300 per scene. How much has that changed? What are you making now?
I don't kiss and tell. I do well. I'm making
Okay.
I'm making a lot more than I was
Okay.
back in the day. But you have to earn your stripes.
Yeah.
So nothing's overnight.
Yeah.
Why the name Damon? I'm just curious, honestly.
So
I feel like that's
so
a
the name
good name
the
to
name
have.
the name Damon was a high idea. Don't do drugs. Don't smoke weed, kids, unless you're 18.
Unless you're at Helde.
Literally, Jardin Veronica.
If you're going to get weed, go get it Hardy in Las Vegas. It's a great place.
I feel like all good ideas are high ideas, though. No?
For me, at least it is. All the porn star names had the alliteration with the same letters.
Right.
So I was like going down the alphabet. I was like, all right, Aaron Adams or like Bobby Bentley, Chris. So I got to the D's. I was like D.
Well, you're like double D. I like those.
D.
so.
Yeah, like
Those
double
are great.
D's. Like D. David, Derek, Damon just popped in my head. I was
Right.
like, Damon. All right, that's unique. Derek, Dice.
You're just like, okay.
I was just saying D words. I was just high.
Okay.
Damon Dice, and it popped in my head.
And it's stuck.
So there's no real story behind it, but I was just having fun.
Okay.
I mean, that's fair.
You were
It was-
high.
it
And
was a
you're
hi-
like,
it was a
what
high-
name starts with a D? Let's go through it.
It was a
and-
high idea, but later, down the road in life, it kind of, I had this epiphany because I was driving through Vegas like a few years ago, and driving past the Strip, and there's this hotel called the Nomad, and I was driving past it. I looked at it. I was like, wow. So do you know what Nomad spelled backwards is? Damon.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
And a nomad is someone, they're a traveler, they're an
Yeah.
explorer.
Right.
So I was like, wow, this is like really fits me because I love traveling, I love exploring. Like I'm just all over the place with my life. And I was like, all right, that's really cool. And then dice, like if you roll a dice, there's many sides to you.
Right.
So I like in
I like
retrospect, I really see it. Like I didn't know at the time, but
Why
now I
you-
see it fits me. That is who I am.
You
So-
got the meaning after you already came up with the name. Usually we go backwards.
Yeah,
Usually
no,
go
it's
the other
cool.
way.
That's sick, though.
Yeah, it was a very it was an epiphany moment.
Right.
So it
Yeah.
was cool to kind of come upon.
That's interesting.
So yeah, Damon Dice is a random name, and
Interesting.
You know-
What side are we getting of the dice today?
Snake eyes.
how many dice are we rolling?
Okay, so I have a question. Obviously,
Answer.
do you have an answer? I'm not sure. Obviously, being in the adult entertainment industry, it makes obviously it would probably make it harder dating, make it harder having relationships. So like, what's been your experience, dating and with relationships so far?
So my experience dating and with the relationships,
Are you in a relationship right now?
I'm not.
Okay.
So I've dated girls that are in the adult industry, and I've dated girls that are out of the adult industry. And
What's the verdict?
I found that the verdict is they're both equally as challenging.
Okay.
Okay.
Dating girls in the industry, it's like obviously you're both sex workers, so you're having sex with a lot of the same people, or you're having sex with people that you both know.
Right.
So it's kind of weird. It makes it tough. Like I'm not generally a jealous person, but sometimes like if I would see a scene with my ex-girlfriend or in like another guy, I'm like, damn, like.
Right.
It's just
She
kind of
looks like she's enjoying it too much.
yeah, no, it's cool. Like I want like,
She's like,
I'm
"Baby,
person. I
it's
want
all an
I want my
act." You're
partner
like-
to have fun. Like at the end of the day, like I'm less of a jealous person. If they're gonna be doing it, I'm kind of like, babies, like I'm gonna see like some pictures, send me some naughty shit. Like I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
Like we're open. Like I'm gonna see. So it's it's tough because sometimes it's in your face and like you are you're all having sex with the same people. So it's just very like. It's tough.
It's a tough dynamic.
It makes it tough sometimes, and
Yeah.
it's a very unique situation because there's no real life situation where that's really happening.
Right.
Because
But
being a
it-
porn star, you're having sex for work. What other professions are you having sex for work? There's not many.
Right. But in the same beat, they also come from a more understanding point, would you say, than somebody who's not?
Yeah, yes, and that's the pro of it too, is they understand.
Right.
So it's
I
like
would think.
they understand what that's like, so
But
that makes it easier. But there's still being real with yourself, a real person. There's still a natural. If that's your person that someone else is having sex with, it can be tough.
Right. Like, let's say you meet somebody and they're not in the industry. Do they normally start off with like, I'm okay, I'm cool with it? Or are they already starting off like,
It depends. Everyone's different, so I can't generalize.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, someone being one way than the other.
Right.
At first, like they're gonna date me, they know what I do,
Right.
so that's like out in the open. But disclaimer: if I ever meet a girl like randomly, if I'm single and I'm out and about and I'm talking to a girl, it's like, what do you do? Like I never lead off with like I'm a porn star.
Right.
Right.
Which
'Cause
I get.
I'm not gonna be like, hey, I do like I'm
Yeah.
not. That's not who I am. It's just a part of what I do.
Right. Which makes sense.
So you know, it's a different dynamic with that. I've met girls that are fans. And they already know what I do, so it's different too. So it's
They're like, I love your work. Where do I sign up?
yeah, so
You're like, maybe.
So sometimes like a girl, like if it's a random person they don't know, I talk to them as I'm not a
Not
porn
Damon,
star. Not Damon, yeah, because they're either going to ask me a lot of questions, or it's just like they're going to be turned off. It just really depends.
Right.
Like it's
you don't
one
want
of
to lose
the
your
other.
opportunity in a way.
Yeah, so I don't lead off with that. It doesn't define me.
Right.
So I'm not just going to lead out with that.
Right.
Girls that do know, it's a whole different ballgame because they already know what they're getting into when they like are trying to talk to me.
Yeah. They're coming for that.
Yeah,
That's actually exactly the market
They're
they're looking
like,
to
they're
get into.
literally like, hello.
So hey, like,
You don't
okay.
start with Spencer. You start straight off with David.
Oh,
You're
they're
like,
going. They're asking for Damon. I'm like,
Saying, Mr.
I'm like,
Dice
I'm like,
on line one,
who's
please."
asking? Depends on who's. So for girls that I date outside of the industry, that they don't really understand that because they're
Yeah.
not in it, and that makes it tough sometimes because it's a completely different world to them. And it's like, if I'm going to do a porn shoot and then I come home with my girlfriend, it's like, oh, how was your day at work? How do I answer that?
oh my God.
Like, it's like tough because if you really love someone, you don't want to be,
Yeah.
it's just, it's tough. And I've been in situations where I've been in love and I've been a porn star with someone outside the industry, and it hurts to like come back to that and just, you know, because you just want to share that time and your energy and your love with that person, but it gets tough. So yeah, I've lived both sides of it.
Did it ever make you like consider leaving the industry? Like, did a
Yeah,
relationship ever?
I've left in the 8-9 years I've been in. I've left porn, retired 3 times.
Okay. Was it for relationships?
2 out of 3 for relationships, 1 for business.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like I've left the industry for love or relationship. So it makes it tough because I'm a lover. Like if I love someone, I want to give them my all, and I feel like I'm selling that short if I'm traveling the country having sex with random like with girls. So
Right.
yeah, for me right now, like I see myself dating seriously once I'm retired from the industry
Yeah.
Which
because it's been tough.
It obviously makes like, it's obviously like a wedge in any relationship, whether it's in the industry or outside of the industry. It's difficult. So I understand. And actually that leads me to my next question, which is like, do you think that being a porn star has changed the way you see monogamy? Or does it do you have like a different perspective on monogamy?
I don't think so. I've always, even before I got into porn, like I feel like I could be in love with one person but have sex with other people in my life. An ideal situation for me would be if I can have love with one person, like my forever person, and be able to have sex with other people with together.
Right.
Like someone we can bring in. Like I don't want to have to go off and like find random girls to have sex with. Like I want someone we can bring in and enjoy equally together.
Right.
So an ideal relationship for me would be someone that I love and I can give everything with. We could have kids, family, all that, and then we can have fun and bring other people in.
And do you think that you'd ever be able to have a relationship that's like purely monogamous, like just with one person and
One person forever? That pussy better be really bomb. Like, no cap. I'm serious. Like, she better fucking be bringing the heat for real.
You're like, she's gonna have the switching wigs every couple
Yeah,
of months.
like, the bar has been set very high.
Your ideal would be to have like an open relationship ish, or not open.
Open
just like
wouldn't
open.
make sense because like he would want to do it with his partner. So just
Yeah, and
like
even equally, if my partner wanted to bring a guy and for us to have sex with her together, like
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. Like,
right.
okay.
I'm not making it equal to like women or men. You know, if I have a homie, it's like, hey, let's fuck my wife. Like, cool, let's do it.
Yeah.
So it's
So you think that you can have sex with other people and still like have love for that one person?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
I believe in that, and I've experienced that. Like I've been in love with someone and have had sex with other people. So.
And do you feel like it ever made your relationship feel? Because I know before you were kind of mentioning that it's like you want to give your all to that person, but you can't necessarily do that when you're like traveling the country.
Yeah, I'd say it's more so a time thing, like spending time with people.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it's as much like having sex with other people because the people that I've dated understand that when I go to work, it's work.
Right.
And when I'm home, I'm home. Like I can separate work from home.
Right.
You know, if I'm like texting the girl after the shoot in the DMs, like, oh, hey, what, like,
Yeah.
then yeah, that's cheating. I consider cheating if you're pursuing another woman, whether it's physically or digitally. Some people get that twisted, but you know, if you're.
Has there ever been a time where it happened, you had chemistry on set and it was just like, you're probably in a relationship and you're just like, damn.
I'd like to phone a friend.
He's answering all of Veronica's questions. Mine's, he's like, I'm sorry, I just can't answer that.
He's like, I'm going to plead the fifth on this
Don't-
one.
Okay. Fifth. Next question.
Okay, well, no, not answering is answering. So thank you so much.
Well, that's actually interesting. Like, how do you define cheating in a relationship that's so, like in that
I know what
sense
you're
where
trying
you're
to
like
say.
having sex with other people? At what point is the line drawn where it's like, okay, this is cheating?
Yeah, like you're like, I didn't ask to have chemistry with this person on set.
That's
but it
what I'm
happened.
saying. Like, having, for me personally, like, once I'm out of the industry, that's when I can really pursue my next serious relationship.
Because now it's too
Because
tricky.
for me, even for me to like do my job really well, I have to have chemistry with that person.
Yeah.
And like, there's some people where I have more chemistry than others. So it looks like me and my partner are really like in love and we're getting it. And in that moment, yeah, we can be. Like I've fallen in love on set.
Like, how would you say it's different, like having sex with your partner and then having sex on camera? Do you feel like you guys are both playing the role of like you're playing Damon and she's playing her?
At that point in time, well, yeah, because we're in front of a camera, so it's always different.
Yeah.
Right.
If I'm like most normal porn shoots, we'll go for like 30 to 45 minutes. So it's like an extended, like it's a lot longer than normal. If I'm at home, I last like 5 minutes.
You're like, these are my days off. I don't have to.
Hold up. Before you judge me, people.
Let's talk about what is a high value man. You know what I mean? We always talk about it on the podcast, but we never explain that one of the key components to being a high value alpha male is taking care of yourself. And that starts with below the waist.
And that also starts with Manscaped because they are the best in below the waist grooming for men. And also, they also have some beard trimmers, some ears and nose hair trimmers. So you want to look good on all the fronts. And it doesn't just start and end with your balls. It's also your face. It's also how good you smell. So you can get everything you need to keep your hygiene in tip-top shape at manscaped.com.
Using our discount code ChemicalX at checkout, we're giving you 20% off anything on their website. And if that wasn't enough, free shipping. What are you waiting for? We love high value men.
So porn sex normally isn't as comfortable,
Right.
Because it's a movie.
Right.
It's not real life.
Yeah.
So we're doing it for the camera. We're doing all these crazy angles. You could be doing it on top of a car. I was having sex yesterday in about 1 degree Celsius outside
What?
in the snow.
Right.
So, some sex is less than ideal.
Jeez.
So it lasts a little longer.
Was easy to last when I was freezing.
Yeah.
But
if, I'm at home, I'm comfortable, I'm feeling it. It feels so good because there's no one standing around me. There's not all the lights.
Yeah.
Hey.
You're like, hey, I'm not getting paid for 30 minutes.
Yeah,
here.
no. So it feels a lot better at home.
Yeah.
I'm not saying our last comments, but I keep it going. But if I could.
You're like, babe, you're not paying me. Come on.
You're like,
Yeah,
I do this
so-
for a living. Come on.
Come on.
Can I have a little break?
Do you have a list of people you choose not to work with? Okay, answer one of my questions.
So, yes. Okay.
Pleading the fifth.
Can you say what would land somebody on your no list? Can you say what would get them there?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, a no list is a list of performers that you don't want to work with.
What would land a girl on my no list is a bad attitude.
Okay.
That's like the number one for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like if the girl comes to work and she's just bad attitude.
A bitch.
Bitch, yeah. Because I'm a nice person. Like if I don't know you, I'm saying hi. I'm super nice.
Like just good vibes, good energy.
Vibes. If you have bad energy or you have bad attitude, like done. I'll weed those
Is that
out.
what Damon does too?
Oh, that's not even Damon yet because I'm not naked yet. So that's Spencer. That's Spencer. Like that's HR. Weed him in before.
He's doing the interview at that point. He's like, no. Pass.
Yeah, Spencer's doing HR before Damon gets there. Reads him out.
Sorry, my mistake.
I sent girls home before. Like you gotta go.
Really?
Yeah, once or twice.
I mean, I get it because realistically, like, sex is in a way energy. Like,
100%,
100%. So, like,
yeah.
if your energy is so bad, even though we're both hired to do a job, like, how do you want me to do that job?
Yeah.
if you're a
Exactly.
fucking cunt?
Even if the girl's a bitch, I could take all the Viagra in the world. It's not gonna work because I'm not mentally there.
Right.
So, number one, if I don't, and honestly, like, I don't really have a current no list. There's girls in the past where it's like they were not fun to work with. So it's like if I see them on a call sheet, I'll be like, I do not prefer to shoot with her. Like I don't. Even someone asked me the other day, like, what's your no list? I'm like, I don't really have a no list right now. Like,
Right.
I get to choose who I shoot with for the most part. So a company, a studio will give me a list of 5 to 10 names, or like, who would you want to shoot with on these dates? So I'm at a point in my career where I can actually choose.
Do you normally choose somebody you've worked with before, or sometimes
Most
you're
of the
like,
time, yeah.
You're like, oh, that girl.
Most of the time, I'll choose someone that I've worked with before, I have good chemistry with, or if it's someone that's, they could be new, but me and the other male porn stars, we talk. We compare notes. Seriously, we talk. Yeah, because especially new girl, like if I see she's only shot 5 scenes, like I'll talk to the homies that she shot with, be like, hey, like how was she? Is she this, that?
Yeah.
The directors, producer, everyone in the industry, we all know each other. It's a very small, tight knit group, as you know.
Yeah.
So the guys will talk. The directors, I'll talk to them. So I know before coming into it what I'm coming into.
Right.
And if I know it's like
no pun intended.
If I know
I'm coming into.
If I know if it's a dicey situation, I'm gonna avoid it. Like if there's someone you don't really work with or someone you're not really vibing with. So say I show up set, this girl's bad attitude. She doesn't want to be there. She's complaining, this, that, whatever. I'll focus on something that I do like about her. So maybe she has nice tits. So I'm like, all right, you have a shitty attitude, but you have nice tits. Like, let me just look at those, focus on those.
Right.
I can get turned on and get my job done, focus on something
It's
I
all
like.
about the mind.
Yeah. And even, there's been times where I've worked with girls that aren't my type physically, or like it's just, I'm not physically attracted to her. She's not the prettiest girl, but she has a great attitude. She wants to be there and she can suck a dick.
You're like, well,
You're like, you know what?
All right, today's a good day. Like it happens. Like honestly, that's how it is.
Yeah.
Like you can get by on certain attributes. So, it's just mental fortitude, being like mind strong. So it's a mental game for sure. It's this industry. It's 90% mental for sure.
I mean, your body is controlled by your mind. So like naturally to be able to, get turned on. Like I know we say like women are more turned on via their mind, but I think anyone needs that kind of like mental stimulation.
Yeah, it goes.
And especially if the attraction is not there, like what are you gonna do? Like you have to get creative.
You're like, what are we gonna focus on here? Okay,
Yeah,
let's analyze.
Okay, she has really nice nails. Let's look at those.
Yeah, what's been the craziest thing that you've analyzed? You're like, okay, let's use that.
What happens if there's nothing?
Pick up the phone one more time.
Yeah, so there's ways to get through. There's coping mechanisms.
Coping mechanisms. What's like one type of scene that you never shoot?
That I would never shoot.
Yeah. We know blowbangs is off the list
Yeah, I was
on your
just gonna
radar.
say that.
Actually, I can't say that. I did a blow bang. I did a blow bang last month from Brazzers in Vegas.
Sometimes we always go back to our roots.
But they weren't paying me $300.
Yeah, exactly. I got paid a lot more than that. And they called me. They had a guy that like had to cancel last minute. So they needed an extra guy. I happened to be in town. I was tested. Like, hey, can you come shoot this blow bang? And I was like, fuck no. Like, no, why you can call me? They're like, we really need you. I'm like, well, you're really going to have to pay me a lot more than you're normally going to pay me. So they paid me like my sex rate, sexing rate to get my dick sucked for 5 minutes. So
wait, is there different rates for different, like, is there like a blowjob rate, a sex rate?
Yeah, like, yeah, I charge more for like sex than a blowjob.
Yeah, like I feel like it's like with anything, when you have
Or if
experience,
I
you're
do,
able to like ask for more.
Yeah. So I'm my own agent at this point. I had an agent my first 2 years, but I've been independent the past 6, 7. So my time at the end of the day is valuable with things. So it's like if I'm not doing porn, I can be doing other stuff.
Yeah.
Even if they want, so for example, like if it was like a 2-day shoot, one day was acting and one day was sex, they usually charge less for acting and more for sex. But for me, it's each day is valuable for me because each day I'm taking off. I could be shooting for another company or I could be doing my own work.
Right.
So I charge the same. I basically have a day rate. Like if you want me, it's this much for the day.
Right.
Whether it's I'm coming in for, 2 hours and doing acting, like my day's rate is this day rate. But they usually, most 90% performers, they get paid less for acting and more for sex. I would rather get paid less for sex because I get to come.
You're like, that's the bonus.
I know. Like, seriously. Like,
I mean, makes sense.
People get paid less for, like, you can pay me less for sex because I still get to, like, get mine. Like,
you get your little goodie bag at the end.
Yeah, like, I get to come. If I'm just coming in for acting, I'm for this hot girl all day, I'm getting blue balls. Like, fuck that.
You're like, I'm not into it.
You gotta pay me more for this. So my shit's backward.
The blue balls premium.
I'm backwards on that. So, but
What would you say is like the biggest lesson that you learned being in the adult industry?
Don't judge a book by its cover.
Deep.
Yeah. A lot of adult stars that I've met in my time in the industry, it's like, before I got into porn, I looked at porn stars or people that did sex work as like, oh, these people are worthless. They're just like there for sex.
Right.
In my time in the industry, like I've learned that there's so many beautiful people and talented people and people that are doing it for reasons bigger than themselves. So for me personally, it's really helped me open up for people and towards people because I was very closed off. Like I was like, I at a point like looked at myself like, oh, like I'm better than this person because like I'm doing business or I'm doing that or I'm successful in this area. And like sex workers, I look down on. Like I was like, oh, they're like second-class citizens. Right. And then becoming one and being around a lot of these people for the past decade, like it's really opened my eyes and showed me how beautiful a lot of these people and my peers are. So it's like, that's what I'm saying, don't judge a book by its cover. Yeah. It's like it's just helped me in life, like open up and not see people for how my pre-interpretations were of them or
which makes sense.
Their stigmas or prejudgments, whether it's culture, religion, whatever. So it's really opened my eyes as a human being to like seeing people for who they are. So if it wasn't for porn, I'd probably be, a closed off elitist, like trying to chase a bag, be, just it's really helped me release part of my ego and be, become a real person and see people for who they are.
Wow, great
so
answer.
yeah, it's really helped me at a deep level.
Yeah.
I actually think that people who are in like a stigmatized place tend to actually be the most open and genuine people because they don't have a reason to be fake, which is why it's like I was talking about like the AVN awards and like how nice and genuine everyone seemed to be.
Yeah, so you saw it. You saw what it's like. You're like, wow, these people, like, you didn't expect all that. I mean, you did because you kind of been around it.
Yeah.
But
I
just
think,
being
like,
immersed in
the
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Oscars, I think it would be a lot more pretentious, a lot more stuck up,
100%.
a lot more fake. And actually a lot worse and worse intentions than I feel like
100%
adult entertainers have, because I think, like I was saying, it's like when you're stigmatized, you already kind of lost the respect of like the closed-minded people, so you don't even care. So you're like, I might as well just be myself.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think that breeds like a genuine person.
They're very free. The people in our industry have reached a level of freedom that a lot of people can't reach. Yeah. Because most people in their regular day-to-day jobs, if a nude of them leaked, they'd be destroyed. Their home life would be destroyed. Their work life would be destroyed. Their reputation would be gone. So it's like, we've already crossed that bridge. We're already out there. Right. So what else can you take from us?
Exactly. It's true. It's
makes sense.
And that was for me too. It's like the first year I was in, I kept it a secret because I didn't want that to happen to me. I didn't want to be exposed. Like if people find out I'm having sex on the internet, they're going to think I'm less than what I thought I was or what I perceive myself to be. Yeah. So a lot of it's like self-perception. Like it's really helped me see outside of myself and
In
see other
general,
people
yeah.
in different situations. So it's that's the biggest lesson porn's taught me, is how to be a better person.
Awesome.
And
Wow.
how long do you see yourself like continuing for?
He's like I said, a retired
We
3
talked-
times.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Okay.
No. I guess I won't ask any questions.
Is it only picking up on your questions?
Am I? Yeah, you are. Only
Hello,
picking up
answer
our
the question.
So there's a couple ways that I could ultimately retire. Right now, mostly porn's the biggest moneymaker or way I support myself and my family, like my parents and my brother and relatives. So I do it for more than me.
Right.
Like it makes me good money. And it gives me freedom with time, because I'm not working a 40-hour 9-to-5 job.
Right.
I could work a few times a month and pay my bills and help my family out. So if there's a situation where I make a lot of money with, whether it's one of my businesses that I'm currently building, which we sell, and I can exit and, make a few $1 million off that, I won't need to do porn, because I'm good. So I can focus on more business ventures. So A is, if another business really takes off, I can solely focus on that.
Yeah.
Or B, I find someone that I'm madly in love with, and like I won't want to have sex with another person. I couldn't even like force myself to have sex with another person if I find that person like that. So it could be love, it could be money, it could be a combination of the two. I remember I told myself at 30, and all my friends and family, I was like, I'm retiring from porn at 30. I just turned 35 2 weeks ago. So,
Yeah. It
5
doesn't
years,
always go as
but
planned.
there was a pandemic. There was like 2 years off, basically.
I
so
agree. I totally
the clock
agree with
kind
that, by
of
the
reset
way.
a little bit.
Like
and
whatever age you give someone, you should be able to
2
knock off those 2 years. I
fucking
agree with that.
COVID aged my ass. After I got COVID, I felt like, God,
No, I feel like I'm still,
was like, man, that
minus
shit-
2 years.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So, I'm 33 right now.
Yeah.
My government ID says 35, but I'm
But like,
33.
they're all liars anyway. Well, actually, speaking of retiring, do you feel like male porn stars have like a longer career in the porn industry than female porn stars?
Do you watch football? Like NFL?
Not religiously.
So women in the industry, I compare it to the running backs. They're the ones
You
that
already
get
lost me.
the running backs are the ones that get the ball. They get hit a lot. They get tackled a lot. They only last a couple years in the league because they're getting so banged up.
That was a serious pun right there.
Seriously. So they're getting wear and tear, getting the pounding down the middle. So usually the women, the shelf life generally, there's women that have done it for 20 years. They've been doing it forever. There's some unicorns in the industry. But most women, I'd say on average, are a couple years.
Yeah.
As for the guys, we're like the kickers. We're the ones that come in, we kick the field goals, we kick the extra points. We don't get tackled, we don't get hit. The tension's not on us. The girls that are the running backs, the ones that score the touchdowns, they're the superstars.
Right.
We're just there to put up the points. We can do it till we're 40, 50 years old. So we have more longevity in the game. I know you don't understand.
I
But.
absolutely understand, actually.
Women versus
No,
men.
I totally understand, actually.
So that's my football analogy. It's like the men, the
Yeah.
kickers, we can do it longer. We score the points, we get the job done.
But what about MILFs?
That's what I'm saying. There's some anomalies.
Right. Would you prefer fucking a MILF on set, or I feel like he's gonna pick up the phone.
You see me look at the phone.
I'm triggered.
She's like, she's going to cover the phone.
Well, your questions, yeah, I see you. See, the questions you ask me will get me in trouble with people.
I'm trying here on the go. Like, guys, I'm trying.
I'd say generally, I gravitate to women a couple years younger than me.
Okay.
Yeah, or my age. I wouldn't say older. I'm not too like.
He's like, how do I keep
I'm
this
35.
question politically correct?
He's like, how when I'm
He's like,
booked
I don't
with
wanna
a MILF
say.
and she's insulted after.
No.
She's like, so you don't think I'm pretty? That's good. That's good to know. Now that we're about to fuck, it's good to know you're not attracted to me. Oh, you like young girls, okay.
Attitude is everything.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you can be a 50-year-old woman and be a beautiful person on the outside and on the inside, and I like you.
But you're still choosing the young.
But like honestly, I don't have anything in common with like a 20-year-old girl.
Yeah.
whatever you boil it down to. Like, yeah, we might, if I'm shooting with her, have sex, it's cool. Like, but there's no chance I'm gonna like hang out with you afterwards. So, I guess sex wise, someone that's experienced enough and someone that has some experience enough sexually and someone that has lived life and just like knows life. Because I feel like at a certain age, like you just haven't learned a lot yet. So someone in the middle.
Right.
Yeah. So she's like, all right, what's in the middle of 20 and 35?
I think
27. Yeah, 27, 28. That's a good age. Yeah, we'll say 28. 28 is my ideal. 28 years old. It's
Gotcha.
Damon Dice.
Be
Yeah.
listening 28.
Internet, if there's any hot 28-year-olds, hit me up.
Okay, question for you. Now, just bringing it to like Chemical X, we normally ask our guests this. What would you say is the biggest red flag for a girl? You can say more than one, but like, just remember
if you're posting your Birkin bag, you're already canceled.
Okay.
Seriously.
Okay.
Birkin's a no-go for me.
Okay.
Okay, so a Birkin pick off the radar.
Birkin pick is just like, I already know what's up.
Okay.
Like, you're that kind of girl. Like, you're more worried about like a $10,000 bag than, you know, it's just, that's a big red flag for me out the gates. I don't need to go into detail. I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
Okay.
I'm sorry if you guys have Birkins.
Yeah.
No Birkin yet though.
You're getting there.
Oh my God. And even if we did.
No, unless you're like married, yeah, you should have your husband should fucking be buying you Birkin bags. But if you're fucking some 20-year-old sloozy, you shouldn't have a fucking Birkin bag from some sugar daddy because you're not getting it from your like college homie.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, for
Okay.
real, like, no cap. Red flags.
By the way, this is a problem we never have an issue talking about. We're like, red flags and guys, let's fucking go, Veronica.
Yeah, like,
you
here,
say
pull
five,
up the
I say
list.
five,
Here's all
let's
the
go.
red flags.
No, it's red flags.
Wow,
are
it
girls.
actually means you're a good person though. Like,
Just, I don't know. It's like I am good at seeing like who's good and who's not. So it's like it's more of a judgment thing. So it's not like specific things. I just have a feel of like good and bad.
Right.
But I'm not saying like there's certain things that are red flags. Other red flags, drama. People that are like very like in tune in drama or like talk a lot on social media or like very like.
okay.
Right. Red flag. A girl that posts herself a lot. Like a lot, like
He
selfies.
comes on the Chemical X podcast as two girls who fucking ran and he's like, sorry, it's a red flag, ladies.
No, you guys don't post a lot, so you're good. Like I watch your shit, you're good. You're still good. You're safe.
Never posted a Birkin, don't have a Birkin, don't post a lot. We're good.
Well, these days, Birkins and Chanel's, they're lining up there.
Haven't posted a Chanel either. Good. Still good.
I'd rather a girl
Bye,
have
guys.
a fake ass Birkin and like try to play it off,
Really?
Yeah.
You'd rather she have a fake Birkin and
Yeah,
pretend that it's
because I
real?
know she didn't buy that Birkin, so if someone else bought
So
it for
for
her.
you, you see
so
it
if
as
it's a
like-
if it's a fake one, she actually bought it.
Right.
But if it's not a real one, 99% of the time she didn't actually buy it. It was like, if the girl's not married, she has it. A dude bought it for her.
Okay, that's a little
Yeah.
I'm thinking more like sugar daddy thing, like
right,
not
right,
like
right. I feel
boyfriends.
That's
yeah.
like if the percentage.
I'm
would
not.
be
I'm not trying to
99,
generalize, but
like
not 99. Like
I
maybe
definitely
like
think like there's
60. Yeah, I don't know.
60,
Maybe my numbers are off. But,
yeah.
60-40 for sure.
but if you're just posting your bag, like
Yeah.
that's not. If
Yeah.
you can post it here and there,
So wait, what's the difference between being a sugar baby and being a porn star though? What if you?
Wow.
What if you?
Oh, we're gonna dive right.
He's like, well, listen, how much time we got left?
We can
Yeah.
go on for a little.
no, we can keep going. I'm ready. Let's go.
Like, because realistically, wait, would you consider being a sugar baby part of the sex industry? Sex worker?
if
'Cause
there's
technically
if
you're-
there's if it's OnlyFans, I guess there's sugar baby, but sugar babies. Whew,
But don't you think there's always still like an exchange being done?
there's somewhat of an exchange?
Yeah.
You exchange something for that Birkin bag.
Probably sex.
Yeah.
You're not getting that shit for free.
We know what the title's gonna be of this episode.
Fucking for a Birkin. do you like, because we were talking about OnlyFans and like how much easier it was for the OnlyFans era to skyrocket to like success? Is there like a bit of like rivalry between the traditional porn stars and the OnlyFans people? Because it's like you're making almost more money than me more easily.
I'd say there is generally a little more animosity between porn stars, which is pre-COVID and post-COVID, where OnlyFans kind of popped up. because I know that there's porn stars that have been doing porn professionally for like a decade. And then there's girls that have come up on the scene for like less than a year and they're making 6 figures a month. Right. When a full-time porn star at her prime, say, is making, not as much.
But I feel like it's the same thing in any industry. Like, for example, modeling. Like, obviously, Kendall Jenner had an advantage. Like, there's always going to be
that advantage.
Like, there's always going to be, like, the Nepo baby.
But
and then there's also going to be, like, the girl who just skyrocketed because she started in OnlyFans. Yeah. Like, it's...
But I think it's tricky just because, like, the industry changed itself.
Right.
Like, it's like no one had that opportunity. But that's just innovation in reality. Like, there's just more access. It's like social media, Before,
but also take the good with the bad, right?
Yeah. So.
But at the same time, OnlyFans opened up the door for a lot of porn stars, too.
Right. That's what I was going to say.
So equally, it made porn stars, it made us a lot more money.
Yeah.
Was there a lot of porn stars who like stopped doing that and then just focused on OnlyFans?
There's a lot of porn stars that stopped shooting porn professionally and just went full-time OnlyFans.
Right, makes
so like
sense,
the pool of performers, like the top girls, like they don't shoot anymore. They're making 6 figures sitting at home for the most part.
Right, because it's realistically from a business standpoint, it just makes more sense. You get to work from home, shoot with who you want to shoot with.
Exactly, you're not getting railed out by big dicks 4 or 5 days a week. Like you can sit at home. Like,
what's your best sex tip?
Sex tip.
Yes.
For any girl
who's listening, a nice tip.
Nice tip.
For the girls. And then one for the boys.
Nice tip for the girls.
But that tip can be used for a Birkin. Just remember that.
And if you do use the tip, just don't post it. And if you do post it, just block Damon.
Oh, God.
So best tip for a girl.
So best tip for women. Choose wisely. There's a lot of like creepy guys out there, so just be careful in who you bring in because your energy is very valuable. So just don't be giving your energy off, your time to fuckboys. I know it's harder to, decide out the gates who's a fuckboy and who's not. You have to navigate that, but just protect your time, your energy, your yoni, all that, because guys or bad energy will try to destroy that. So be very mindful of who you bring into your circle.
Okay.
I think that was
for boys.
I think that was pretty solid though.
Yeah. Best sex tip for guys. Breathe. A lot of guys, there's performance anxiety, which is the number one inhibitor for guys or men to get aroused or to get hard or to do the job. So a lot of the times they get nervous, like they're with a hot girl, like they get really like, what do I do? And they have performance anxiety. They can't get hard, and they end up disappointing themselves and the girl they're with. So as a guy, if you are able to control your breath and breathe, relax, just get in the moment, because a lot of people are thinking ahead or getting like, thinking about like, oh, I'm going to, because a lot of what I've seen and what I've learned is a lot of guys, the ones that talk a big game, like, oh, I'm going to fuck the shit out of you.
Oh, well, we speak about that.
Like, they're the ones that like, fucking just like, what the fuck was that?
Too pump
When they talk too much, it's like
you already know nothing's happening.
It's the ones that talk a lot,
that you're like I always say it's the quiet ones, or like
quiet ones you gotta watch out. Like quiet ones you gotta watch out for sure. Yeah.
You're like, tell me more.
When somebody starts telling me they're gonna tie me to the wall and throw handballs at me, I already know nothing's happening.
No.
I already know nothing's
handballs?
happening.
100%.
Is this a Canadian sport?
The guy who says nothing.
That's the one that you're
That's the one you're like.
Because the guys that are talking a lot are overcompensating.
Yeah, they have to prove.
And which is so bad because it's like you have to meet that level after you say that shit.
You're setting the bar high.
Yeah, it's always better to set it lower and then just exceed the expectation.
And that's what's funny. It's like it's always the insecure people doing that, and then in reality they're shooting themselves in the foot because you're only making it worse. Like I would be less disappointed if it was just like not that great versus you being like, this is gonna be the best sex of your life, and it's not.
Yeah, that's,
now I'm disappointed. Now you're getting 1-star review, but before you were just getting 3.5 maybe.
That's called overpromising and under-delivering.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's a big thing. It's like if you're a guy, don't fucking say you're gonna fuck shit ever. Like talk it up. Just play it cool and don't set the bar too high, because if you perform under the bar, you're gonna disappoint the person you're having sex with. So like, just don't set it that high. Just I wouldn't say.
But I feel like as a porn star, like, do you ever have a minute where you're like, I don't have to, like, don't you feel like you're always technically performing?
No, because for the most part, if I have sex with a girl that's not an adult star, they would get intimidated by having sex with me because I have sex professionally. So like they in their head are thinking that, oh, like how do I have sex to the level of his expectations, because he has sex with pros for a living. So it's my encounters with having sex with women that are not porn stars.
Interesting.
It's like they're a little intimidated because they're like, what do I do? Like he has sex with girls that are professionals or porn stars.
Right.
So like I understand that, and I understand, you know, how women feel when they're like feel a little intimidated. But I try to like talk to them as a human. Like I understand. Like I understand.
Like no stress if you can't
Yeah,
deep
like
throat.
it's cool. Like
It's all good.
Yeah, just enjoy yourself. Because my
Right.
biggest thing is like if you're turned on and you're having a good time, I'm having a good time. Like I'm there for you. I want you to have fun. So I try to restore the mentality of, you know, just have fun. It's me and you. And even in the bedroom when I'm having sex, like outside of work, it's like I try not to bring the porn star out, but sometimes like the freak comes out, and it's like,
You're like, whoops.
He's like, whoops.
yeah, because sometimes I'll catch myself and I'm like doing crazy positions, and
And they're like,
but it
who
just
are you?
Yeah, it just depends. But I guess I've achieved such a high level of like sexual knowledge, so it's like I like to do more, I guess, acrobatic or like it's not
Well, you're an
acrobatic.
athlete at the end of the day.
Yeah, I just like to do the most.
Has there ever been a girl who was mad at you because you didn't tell her that you were a porn star, and then she found out after and she was like, what the fuck? Like, why didn't you tell me, kind of thing?
I think there was a point when I first moved to LA, like when
Because I feel like I would
I
wanna know.
first got in the industry, and like there was girls I didn't tell, and then they found out, whether it was like their friend. I just like felt this was in the beginning when I felt ashamed of being a porn star, so I
Right.
didn't want to tell people.
Right.
So like wanted them to know me for me. Like I wasn't gonna tell them
Yeah.
I shoot porn, because porn at that time was like part time. Like I wasn't doing it full time. It was just
Right.
like I was making money. But yeah, some girls have come out like, oh, like when did you tell me? I'm like, I didn't want you to judge me for being a porn
Like,
star.
I get both sides of it,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. Or again, like I've said, I've had girls seek me out because I'm a porn star.
Right.
So it's like there's both sides of
I
it.
feel like there'd be a lot of pressure to perform. If I was a porn
Yeah.
star, I'd be like, I better
That
make this
puts
the
the pressure
best
on me.
fuck of their life.
What if I
But then
fail?
it's like he
Yeah.
said, it makes sense. Like the girl's
They're
a bit more like,
intimidated.
yeah. So it kind of.
But there's
brings it
times too,
back.
because it'll like reverse freak me out. It's like I get reverse Uno'd.
Yeah.
Because she's freaked out, and then I'm freaked out.
Right,
I'm like,
right. Now you're
No, we're all
like,
scared.
fuck.
now I'm nervous because you're nervous. So it's like it's harder for me to get turned on and get in the zone because
Right,
like
right, right.
you're.
Yeah.
So sometimes it can be a little awkward because I know, like I can feel the nerves.
Yeah.
Like I feel like you feel nervous, and that rubs off on me. You're nervous. I'm nervous.
Let's breathe.
Yeah,
as you
yeah,
said.
yeah. Breathe. Yeah, just breathe, relax,
breathe.
get in the moment. I'm very
He ends
like
up being
zen.
in yoga position with
No,
her going.
I'm very zen. I meditate regularly. I do yoga regularly. Like I'm very in the spirituality world. So
If you had to choose ass or tits.
I'm ass all day. I'm an ass man. Yeah, I'm an
Okay.
ass man. I love ass and titties, but just nice booty.
Favorite position.
Missionary.
Fire.
Yeah,
I always
Okay.
say missionary is the most underrated position
100%.
because it's just like connection.
100%, guys.
Yeah, I mean, never mind.
What?
Calling on myself. You only do other positions if
If she's ugly.
you said it. I didn't.
But okay, question. I know you just said like sex is like a lower dimensional part of you, but do you feel like because you have sex for a living that it changes the way you have sex off the clock, I guess we would say?
Yes, it does.
Like, do you feel like it's hard to not slip into that performative?
Like, what if you're filming
Version?
all day and then you go home and you're not dating a girl who's in, you know,
The industry.
in the industry,
Yeah.
and she's like, "Babe, I want to fuck," and you're like, "Fuck."
So I love sex. So if
You're like, that's not an issue.
yeah, like I'm always like
You're always game.
I'm always game for the most part. If I'm coming home with my partner and they want sex, I'm having sex. It does come down to like sometimes I could be tired, and like if I'm having sex all day on a shoot, I don't want to have sex just because like I'm tired. I got to shoot the next day, so it makes it tough sometimes. But the thing about it is the sex that I have on camera, for the most part, unless I'm shooting for Balessa, it's very shout out Balessa. It's very. It's scripted. It's acted. It's a lot of stuff that's like stuff I wouldn't be doing in my real life.
Right.
So it's not for me. It's not for my pleasure. It's for the camera. It's for the audience. We're doing tough positions. I'm holding a girl up, like legs spread, doing crazy like position on the couches. I had sex on a pool table recently, in a gondola at a ski resort in this country.
Where's the craziest place you've had sex?
In a gondola in this country.
Yesterday.
Yesterday. Not saying where.
That's crazy.
Oh, Canada. Obviously, how Balessa's done so successful is because it's real. It's not scripted. It's not performative.
Right.
Yeah. I feel like even for me when I'm on, let's say Pornhub, and I feel like it gets to a state where it starts to feel scripted, I'm like, change video.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like with Balessa, it's a lot more natural for sure.
And I
it's
think
less like, they're trying to put the vagina where the camera is.
And I think that's a lot of like plays into like how your audience is viewing. It's like when people can like pick up on certain things like bad acting or like too scripted or like certain plays that takes you out of the fantasy, then you're like this just ruined it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I think a lot of people like the uncut, unedited because
it's real.
Because it's real and there's no story you're trying to sell yourself. You're just watching something that and you could feel through like through the computer, I guess.
And
it's like real.
Yeah, and do you feel like because you're a porn star, when you watch porn, it's very different? Or are you able to like disassociate?
I don't watch as much porn as I used to. I used to watch porn more so before I got in, and then like being in the industry,
and you know what goes on.
Yeah, I know what goes on. The fantasies ruined. Like the scenes that I thought there was like, like they're actually having sex in this park. Like it's like completely random. But no, it's just like everyone's scripted. People have to sign paperwork. Everyone has to get tested. So we get tested every 13, 14 days. So it's definitely like my porn viewing habits have changed. If I do have the liberty and the time, and I travel a lot, so if I'm ever home, I get us some me time, I light a candle. You know?
Light a candle.
Okay.
Have you seen 40-Year-Old Virgin? Yes. When he jerks off for the first time? Yeah. So.
Favorite type of porn scene though, if you are filming?
For me personally, if it's someone that I really have chemistry with and we're just fucking, if we're just going after it, we're having fun.
Okay.
No script. It's just raw sex.
Okay.
What's your favorite porn scene to watch?
I actually really like massages.
I feel like the massage ones are a vibe because it's like I feel like a lot of girls like massage.
Yeah, it's very
porn.
sensual.
Is it the build up because there's that like tension because you've been in that situation where you've had a massage? You're like,
I don't think it's about the actual massage. I think it's
both.
I think it's like the tea. There's a lot of sensuality that's missing in porn. Yeah. So I feel like that's why like if that turns
especially
you on,
for
like, it's
women,
hard. Yeah,
it's
for
like,
women.
Yeah.
Or is it because it's something that it's like a real life situation where you are in a massage, but in your back of your head it's like.
I think it's a bit of
It's like
both
kind of
for me,
like-
honestly.
Really?
Yeah, I think
I've
it's
never
bit of
had a
both.
massage that I was like, damn, I want this person to fuck me right now. Like it's not like something that I would try. You're like, I might have had. I mean, I always ask for a girl when I get a massage, so maybe that's
Oh
why.
my god, I don't. I think
prefer
men are
guys.
better.
Actually, well,
Men
it
are better
depends.
because they really like
Stronger
know how to
hands,
like deep tissue.
I just don't actually. It's gonna sound weird, but I don't actually like when like people touch me, like unless it's something I'm really comfortable with. So like already that I'm like, ugh, like I'm not super comfortable with you. Like
So you don't get massages?
like on
I do get
Saturday, I
massages,
got a
but-
massage and it was a guy, and like he wasn't ugly looking. So
Did you
know,
think
Fuck
about
it.
having sex with them?
No,
Did it cross your mind?
but it
What?
didn't.
No, hold on.
No,
What
in this
thought- what
situation,
thoughts?
no.
Nothing at all. Like,
no, but like I.
what if there's like?
But being a guy versus a girl,
like, what if I
I'm
was the
sure.
I can
like-
show you some massage videos.
Here we go.
I got some.
Anyway, the episode is on you, so we're
Oh
gonna.
no, I can clap back. Let's go. What about
I'm sure you could clap.
What do you like to watch?
Let's end off on one last question because
Whoa,
we have
hold on.
exuded the amount of time.
He's like,
Exuded?
wait, hold
This is
on.
going on the
have
internet.
exceeded-
We got plenty of time.
We have exceeded the amount
What's
of
your
time.
favorite porn to watch?
I actually don't really watch porn anymore. I think editing it changed my idea of it. I guess probably just same
Yeah.
as being on set.
Yeah.
But I actually feel like there's more vibe on set than there is editing.
Well,
Like
you've been on set. What's your experience on a porn set? Like, how do you? What did you think differently once you were on a porn set? Before your like preconceived notions of being on a porn set, like what was your perspective change before and after being on porn?
I think it's my answer is biased because I spent so long editing the scenes. I already knew what was happening.
Okay, before you went on set.
So I
yeah.
didn't have that like like
It
that
wasn't-
virgin
yeah.
eyes of like going on a porn set. It's like I already kind of knew what was
Yeah.
happening. So going there was like essentially what I was doing back home, but just in real life. And I actually feel like there was more of a vibe in real life. But I thought it would be more awkward when it wasn't really awkward.
Yeah,
Like I didn't find it to be that awkward.
it's
like,
pretty like people act pretty normal.
You just kind of like it's like I always say, like if you are naked in a room and everybody else is clothed, it's kind of weird. But if like everyone's naked and you're naked too, it's not that weird. And I feel like that's the kind of vibe on a porn set. It's like you're fucking, but we all know you're fucking, and like we're all aware and okay with it, and we're all doing our job to make this happen. So it's actually not weird. It's
Yeah.
like we're all just doing a job. So I don't feel like there was. I think like for like the first 3 minutes, I was like how am I supposed to feel right now? Like, oh, do I look? Do I make eye contact? Like, what if I fuck up the whole scene by making too much eye contact with the wrong person? And then after like 2 minutes, you're like, okay.
They were like,
I'm
jump
used to
on
it.
set, Veronica.
You know what's
Forget
funny?
being
It's
a
like,
director.
I feel weird watching people have sex. I feel uncomfortable watching people have sex for the most part because like I'm so used to being the person having
Being
sex
watched.
And
people
being
watching
watched.
me.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like if like I'm on a set and like there's people having sex in this scene before me, I'm like, oh my god, I get fucking like I feel like a
So
fucking
awkward.
like
Right.
like a teenager like watching porn for the first time like
right.
I
You're like, is that a dick?
yeah, I'm like, oh, like I swear to God, like if I see titties, like I still get excited. Like if a girl shows me my boobs, I get like from the first time I ever saw tits, like I'm so happy. I'm like, oh my God, I'm not like it's still the best thing in the world.
Titties never get old.
Titties, it's like you would think I'd be like overexposed or just like used to it.
Yeah.
I see nice titties ass, I'm like, oh, like,
This is
I'm
great.
like, yeah, it's great. I'm still like that kid at heart.
I mean, that's actually interesting to know because you would think sometimes
You
you're
get desensitized.
right.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, it does happen. A lot of people get desensitized.
So, like in a month, how many times would you say you shoot?
With OnlyFans, I'll probably do like 2 or 3 OnlyFans shoots a month, maybe. Some like probably 6 to 8 a month. That's my.
Is
where
this
I'm at
your OnlyFans account or is this like someone else's you're shooting on?
for the most part right now. Girls will pay me to shoot for them for the OnlyFans, and like if I'm shooting a sex scene with a girl that has 5,000, 10,000 followers on OnlyFans, I know she's making like 10K plus on a sex scene. So if I have that same sex scene on my OnlyFans, I'm making a few $100.
Yeah.
She's making thousands of dollars on it. I'm like,
It's not
pay me
worth
my,
for you to go.
Yeah, I'll just like a lot of the top girls, they'll just pay me my rate, and I'll shoot for them. They own the content, and I'm out.
Yeah.
But if it's a project that or a shoot that I really want to do, I want to own that content, I'll do that.
Yeah.
But for the most part, like girls on OnlyFans will pay me to shoot with them.
Which makes more
Makes
sense.
sense.
Yeah. Interesting.
But I'm kind of like bougie with it because most guys will keep the content, but I'm established in the industry and
Yeah.
I don't shoot much, so like I value my time, so they will pay me
You're
for
rare.
that. Rare.
Rare.
Rare. I'm like reverse pimping it right now. So it's like, well, you gotta pay me.
What's the weirdest experience you've ever had on set? Like weirdest.
Weirdest experience I've ever had on a porn set. Okay. It was probably like the second year I was in the industry, and I show up set, and the girl's like taking her pictures, like doing her model pictures with her bikini. And then we're supposed to start doing the sex stills, which is the pictures we take before sex. So like she gets done taking her pictures, and like I go out, like I'm getting ready, and like we're about to start doing the sex stills, and the girl's gone. We're like, oh, where'd this girl go? So I'm sitting there, like sitting on the couch, naked, like, thinking I'm gonna be taking pictures with this girl having sex, and nowhere to be found. and like they're looking around the house for her, producer, director.
Oh my gosh,
PA.
she left.
She didn't leave. She kind of left, but she didn't leave. So she locked herself in the bathroom.
She had a mental breakdown.
She had a mental breakdown. She was like basically questioning her life and why am I doing porn right now?
Because she
Imagine.
saw you.
No, not me.
Imagine.
No, come on.
It was definitely because
It was
she
not
was
because
like,
of me.
it's getting
No,
fucking
this
with
girl was like one of her first scenes. And
Okay.
whatever. She had some issue. But she ended up locking herself in the bathroom. I didn't even get a chance. I saw her like when we were first doing paperwork. It was very like brief interaction.
Yeah.
'Cause sometimes you go on a porn set, you're not like, if you don't know them, it's like, hey,
Yeah.
what's up? My name's
Right.
Dave. Like some shoots, like you literally will meet the person that day, that minute, like, hey, nice to meet you. Shake hands.
Right.
And then she's like, like, it's a crazy dynamic. It's funny. It's like very formal, and then the freak comes out. So this girl just like disappears, and the PA goes to the bathroom. Bathroom's locked, so like, oh, she's in the bathroom. They're knocking, like, wait, open the door. Like, where you at? Where you at? I'm sitting in the living room, like, where's this girl at?
You're like, I'm just trying to
Trying to
say
get my dick hard.
No, oh my god. You're like, hurry up, bitch.
You gotta give 5
Yeah.
more
Oh
my
minutes.
Exactly. So, the door's not opening. Like, all right. So they go around the back in the backyard. They open up the back window. The girl's gone. She climbed out the back window of the bathroom and just disappeared.
Wait, why wouldn't she just come out and be like, sorry, I can't
She
do
was
this?
so like embarrassed. Or
Right.
like,
Okay. Yeah. Fair.
It might have been like I don't know the girl. She might have been her first shoot ever.
Yeah.
Like she just at that time was like, oh, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
She
Right.
felt so embarrassed. She like locked herself in the bathroom and just
Jumped out the window.
jumped out the window, left all of her shit, left her back, like her bag, everything. She just
Damn.
dipped. So,
My god.
Yeah, so the scene didn't happen.
She left
that
her
day.
makeup and all.
Everything was left.
Wow, that must have been a bad day for her. I would never leave my makeup behind.
Never
Yeah.
for no one.
Well, I've been on set too, where it's a girl was shooting porn for like a year, and then apparently her boyfriend or husband or partner didn't know she was a porn star. So we're on set when he finally finds out that she's a porn star, and she actually absolutely just has a meltdown, losing her shit. Like she actually locked herself in the bathroom too. She was going crazy.
It's a pattern.
I
over
Yeah, it's a
here.
pattern. Like something like if you have an issue on set, the bathroom, I guess, is a safe place.
I mean,
but-
I'm trying to think like if I was there and like nobody knew I was doing this and I was
But
having
this
a mental
bitch
breakdown.
fucking hid it from her dude for like a year.
How do you
She was a
even do
closeted porn star. She was like, I
That's
wouldn't say
crazy.
married, but it was a serious relationship. And she was.
and
a
he
porn,
found out.
he found out while she was on set, and she checked her phone and like got the wrong text. This is like, just bitch got exposed.
Damn.
For any girl who's listening
Yes.
and is giving their man a blowjob, what would you say are the best tips?
Sloppier the better.
Okay.
If you're not naturally salivacious, you drink Gatorade. Sprite works good. Sprite's good. Red Bull.
Okay.
Those things make you very salivacious. Not only do you have your mouth, like your lips, you have your tongue, you got hands, use it all.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of guys don't have as much feeling in their shaft. They're more sensitive in their tips. So focus on tips. Some guys like their balls. But at the end of the day, ladies, if you want to pleasure your guy, ask them what they like. Don't guess. Ask.
I agree with that.
Yeah. Because everyone's different. So
Yeah.
you don't know. Like
You gotta ask. You
some
gotta
people, some
communicate.
guys don't like fucking sloppy blowjobs where fucking slobbers run down their butt cheeks. So
Yeah.
Some do. It just
Yeah.
depends.
Thoughts on finger in the asshole?
Give a warning.
Okay.
Give a 1-2.
Like, are you going in? Like, yeah.
1-2. Hold your breath.
But do you have to give a warning? Because I feel like normally with men, like if their legs are really opening up, you would kind of like sense if they like want you to go there
Oh,
or
if
not.
they're fucking
like
putting
you can feel if a guy's like
If-
you're
if-
not going in there, or like
if
they kind of like start
if
guiding you
if
there.
the dude's putting his legs over his head, yeah, he's fucking he's asking for it.
He's asking for it.
For me personally, I'm a flincher. Like I'm not like I don't know. I'm like business like yeah
Business and party in the front.
yeah business party in the front.
No party in the back.
No, because I actually on a podcast before someone asked me if I like finger in the booty, like actually Drake loves finger in the booty. It's okay, Drake.
It's okay.
I'm in Canada. I thought I could say it. Last time I had a finger in the booty, we were drunk. We come back from the club in Vegas and getting after it. She's like, give me a blowjob, look at my like, the rim job's cool, I like that. And then a fucking finger just goes in,
Like out of nowhere.
Yeah, it slid in.
yeah.
It was not
Unprovoked.
Yeah,
Okay. Gotcha.
I didn't claim that package right there.
Like, I didn't order this trio here.
What's that called when you're crossing the border and you're like bringing shit in? Declare. I didn't declare. Like I wasn't declaring a finger in my booty. So finger went and I flinched.
Yeah.
It actually broke her finger because I wasn't expecting it.
Wait, hold on. You save this story for an hour and 50 minutes in.
You broke her finger?
I broke her finger.
Okay, wait.
Yeah,
and
so
then
saying,
hold on.
sex stories. I have some crazy sex stories.
Wait.
We
To the
don't have the
hospital
juicy stuff. She had to go to the hospital next day. Yeah, so she like literally slid it in.
Wait, what do you mean the next day? She was like, my fingers.
Well, this was like probably 3-4 in the morning.
Okay,
So
the
when
same
we
day.
woke up, yeah, same day. Same day. So she put it in. I fucking flinched because I wasn't
Oh
expecting.
my gosh,
it.
she must have been
It
so
was in, and
embarrassed.
It snapped.
She must have been so embarrassed.
No.
I don't think she told him what she did. She probably made up something when she was, talking to the actual
explain why you broke your
Yeah,
finger.
like you'd be like, oh, I tripped
Fix
downstairs,
this.
I closing my door or something, whatever. But yeah, I broke a girl's finger. Last finger on
That's
my
crazy.
ass.
You
It
have a
got
really
broken.
strong asshole, I guess. Just saying.
I'm a
He's a good clencher.
I'm a clencher. Yeah, that's it. That's it. I'm a clencher. Yeah, I'm a clencher.
What is the worst thing that's happened to you during sex?
On a porn set or in real life?
Doesn't matter.
So I was having sex this one time on a porn set, and we're doing cowgirl. No cowgirls, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're doing cowgirl, and just laying back cowgirl. So I'm laying down. She's laying back. She's riding me. The director's like, it's POV, so he's on my shoulder. She's riding. She's like, I'm coming. She comes. And then I feel something like hit my belly. What the fuck is... Like, I'm like looking up. I feel she's coming. I feel something hit my belly. I look over. The director's like... I'm like, oh God. Down. There's a fucking Tootsie Roll on my belly button.
A Tootsie Roll?
The girl shit on me. I got shat on. So she came so hard because sometimes when you come, like, you just lose control, and she pooped.
On your stomach.
He's like, I have no problem saying that story. Like, I'm just that good that.
I don't even no problem. Like, yeah. It's
Yeah,
like,
he has no problem.
This
saying
was
the story.
traumatizing at
He's
the
like,
time.
I'm so good that
Wait,
just
what happened?
Tootsie Roll happened.
Did you scrap the scene after?
No, I gotta get the show's got to go on. So, because you're an editor, if shit happens or whatever, like you
No
edit
pun
that
intended.
out,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Okay, so
Not Appalachia though.
the turd hit me.
Okay, wait, what did you do in that situation? Did you just act chill about it because you're like,
I felt something hit me. I see the director's face. The director's face was like, that's when I was like, something's up.
Yeah.
I look down, I glance, I see it in my peripherals, like something. The girl's like, she grabs it.
I mean, honestly.
She picks it up and runs to the bathroom.
And you know what? Suddenly the girls, they always end up in the bathroom.
She ends up in the
Can I be
bathroom.
honest? If that were me, I'd grab it too.
Yeah.
What else are you supposed to
I mean,
do?
what do you want to do?
Yeah, she
Yeah.
grabbed it
You
and
don't
ran
grab
away.
it and you run to the bathroom, but it's what? On the guy?
We finished the scene. It went through good.
I wouldn't be able to walk back out of the bathroom though.
Yeah,
that would be the jump out the window
props
type.
to,
Yeah.
Props to her for getting out of the bathroom and finishing
Yeah.
the scene. But we're professionals and
What
shit-
about
shit
anal
happens.
scenes?
Shit happens.
Yeah.
So for anal scenes, trick of the trade, most anal scenes on porn sets aren't the same as you'd have them in real life, I guess, because the performers on adult sets, they do it's called anal prep. They clean their asses basically. So
That's not only on set though.
well, yeah, not only set, but like porn girls know how to better maintain
Right.
their assholes
Okay.
than
Yeah.
civilian girls. So they'll like not eat for a day beforehand, so nothing's in their digestive tracts. They'll, what's that called? Not douche. It's they'll do enemas.
Mm-hmm.
They'll like clean it out. They've got hoses. Like there's a
Yeah.
whole fucking.
Like I've been on
There's standard
trips.
operating procedures for like I've learned so much
Yeah.
From, like porn stars. I'm like, what?
My gay best friend, like the process he goes through, like
so it's
I'll
a
literally
fucking
be in a
process.
hotel with him. He'll be taking out like the hose of
Yeah,
the shower,
yeah.
and then like he'll literally stick it back, and then I'm showering it up, and it's like literally going 35 directions. I'm like, why? Why didn't I shower first?
There's definitely a learning curve for that. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that was a thing. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
There's like,
It's
like, cause like I've had anal sex in like personal life, and it's, it's like you're just coming home after the bar drunk, like, oh, it's like she's like, fuck me, that's all right, cool, like, it happens. Crazy nights in Vegas.
no Tootsie Roll included.
I mean,
Tootsie Roll.
so you were recently on a fellow podcaster,
Ryan.
Now, shout out Ryan. You were on his podcast and you were saying a very risky quarantine experience. So we're gonna have to repeat that story right now.
I'll call my lawyer. Okay, cool.
That's the phone call his mom didn't get. I'm sorry, I couldn't not.
She's a comedian, huh?
I couldn't not.
We're gonna have to fucking have the drum sound effects on that one. Can't answer this one again.
So guys, you're so interesting that our batteries are literally dying on you.
Yeah,
That's literally
literally.
lasting a lot more than 5 minutes at home. That's for sure.
Marathon man right here.
Literally. But is there any last words that you have for the audience?
I mean, I think that explains it.
Yeah, clap.
By the way, guys, my camera died, so
Yeah.
no stress.
I know, I feel bad. She's not in it.
It's
I'm
okay,
like,
it's
looking
okay.
over at her, like, I should look at you now. Huh? Here, hold on.
No.
You're like, let's go for another hour.
Okay, bye, guys.
All right, ask me again.
Okay, so any last words for the audience?
Yes. Last words I have for the audience is sex is a magical thing, so enjoy it.
Subscribe to his OnlyFans.
Plug your name.
Oh my God, I can't.
What can't you?
Don't look at me. I'm not in the shot anymore.
She's not in this. You
You're
gotta finish
alone
this
in
on
this.
your own.
For someone who's a fast finisher, he's certainly having a hard time over here. Veronica, you want to take the lead on this?
Okay.
That's an open question. I gotta think about it.
Okay.
Open questions are tough for me.
I'm sorry to put you in a tricky situation.
All right,
So-
do it again. I got it. I got this.
Okay, you got it? Do you have any last words for the audience? Anything you want to let them know? Anything you want to tell them?
Any last words I have for the audience? Always be yourself. Be true to yourself. Don't give in to others' expectations of what people expect you to be. Just stay true to yourself. Those are my last words.
I like it. And where can they find you?
You can find me at.
My God.
We're struggling here. This is why we don't give people on set alcohol.
I swear it was just vodka in there.
No.
What'd you put in?
I'm not going to lie. I did make it stronger, though.
See, look,
Do you want me to read
collusion.
No.
I got you. No stress.
All right, so
Wait,
my.
What's
I
your
know. I
handle?
know my shit.
You know it?
You
Yes.
sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So you
Tell the people.
people,
People.
Boys and girls.
ladies and gentlemen, you can find me on Instagram at Spencer Michael Barrick. You can find me at Twitter at the Damon Dice. And if you want to find my spicy page, it's on OnlyFans at Damon Dice 8.
There we go. Thank you so
And
much.
you can find me at Ballesta.com. That's
There you go.
Ballesta.co.
Bless.co. Blessaplus.co.
Ballestaplus.co if you're a real one.
So thank you so much for coming. Not literally, but we really appreciate you being on set with us today and having this conversation. And we're so glad you're here.
Thank you.
So
Thank you so much for coming.
And thank you guys for listening. And we'll see you next week on the Chemical X podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below.